All right, let's move towards who understands correlation and regression. किसी को आता है correlation, regression? Praneeth should be explaining that. तुम्हारा तो business statistics हुआ होगा, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, that got
So explain to us what is correlation, what is regression, what is covariance, क्या होता है?
I am also not very proficient in that. I know just the basics, which has been taught to us in class. So correlation is what is the correlation between two variables. So that is mostly correlation is if there are two variables affecting something, what is the correlation between those two factors. And I'm little bit confused about regression, but yeah, I know this part about correlation. And regression would be, I guess,
removing this, yes. Sorry. Yeah.
So even
okay. So you're partly right. Praneeth, you're partly right.
Can I add?
What is correlation? Yeah, Amit, you want to respond to this?
Yeah, so correlation is the relation between two variables. Basically, if one is causing other, so it's a causal effect that is measured by correlation. And regression is the I think the value of it. When you square it, it will give you some numeric value that will tell you the amount of value one dependent is variable on the other. I mean, it's kind of the higher the value.
It's actually right, but what you've done essentially is you got confused between the two terms. So correlation is both of the things happening together, right? It's not causal effect. ठीक है? Causal effect नहीं है.
Right. Causal is not necessary. I mean, it could be causal, but it can't be
causal. जैसी आता है, then you have regression.
Right.
Correlation is like one goes up, other goes up, one goes up, other goes down, one goes up, other doesn't impact other. That is correlation.
Right.
Correlation is usually measured between +1 and -1, plus 100% to -100%. Simple. +1 to -1. +1 means if this happens, this will definitely happen. 0.5 would means if event A happens, possibility of event B happening is 0.5%. दोनों के बीच में रिलेशनशिप की बात नहीं कर रहा हूं, मैं बोल रहा हूं इवेंट A होगा तो इवेंट B भी होगा.
True. It might be correlation, might not be.
Sorry?
It might be causal or might not be. That is not certain.
It may be causal, it may not be causal. That's why. That is correlation, right? Regression is what is the cause and
amount of causability.
Cause and effect. That's one part. What are the interdependence of? Somebody was using the term dependent, independent variable for columns.
Yes.
That is what you are expecting here. You will have a dependent variable and you will have an independent variable. ठीक है? Dependent variable मैं बात करता हूँ. Let's say, give me an interesting activity. कोई भी कुछ ऐसा कोई activity बताओ जो भी whatever comes to your top of your mind and will.
So there is an example in economics which talk about like the number of drownings increase with the higher consumption of ice cream. So there is a correlation. However, it is not a causal impact because it is signifying, both things are signifying summers, and due to summers more drownings happen, due to summers people eat more ice cream. So it is not that people are drowning because people are eating more ice cream. It's a very good example of.
All right. One more thing. You pointed out a right thing, which is you have a lot of space. You would have learned something in the quantitative research. इसमें तो सिखाते थे research. We never paid attention. अगर उधर ध्यान दिया होता तो इतना हमें data analytics सीखने की जरूरत नहीं होती.
Agree.
Because this itself has a lot of research, which we never bothered in HR. And later on, we come to know, yeah, we could have spent a lot of time there itself.
I did
So
it
now,
under Mullah, so
hmm,
I'm. I said I'm saying I did it under Mullah sir, so
okay.
I'm pretty thorough
So
in this.
did you use quantitative research? You use
Yeah,
qualitative.
yeah. We use SPSS.
You use SPSS.
Yeah.
Okay. Amit, I'll show you something which is there in Excel itself. You don't require SPSS. Will that make your life easier?
Yeah, yeah. I've seen later on that Excel also has the capability of finding out correlation and regression.
Exactly. It has in two different ways. I'll teach one of the important ones. Okay. So Amit has pointed out right. Correlation is दोनों हो रहा है. ठीक है. Just to give an example, some unrelated thing. ठीक है. Let's say during the day you have more number of people watching something. It's not a causal and effect, right? It's two different events or something which is, let's say, there might be interrelationships हो सकता है, but causal effects नहीं है, right? Regression क्या होता है? Regression is an interesting one, and the whole world which you are looking around, AI, everything, it's only run on regression. In fact, I said that in the bigger group. Regression is something which is entirely fueling the entire machine learning. जिनके चार मॉडल हैं पूरे वर्ल्ड को जो गवर्न कर रहे हैं, चार एल्गोरिथम which rules them all: decision tree, logistic regression, I am not able to, random forest, and एक और है.
Waterfall? No.
एक और है, 5 या 6 मॉडल्स हैं. All your entire AI, LLM, everything is dependent on these 3 or 4 concepts. That's it. They might be using more complicated variables. They would have fractured it out into hundreds and thousands of variables. You would have, every time OpenAI comes, it talks about 3 billion variables, right? 2 billion variables, right, Amit? Amit,
True.
Roshan. Okay, so today what I'll do is I will show you something around here. Let me put up the screen. Let me show you what exactly is the two different terms. Okay. Let me first show you what is correlation. And then we'll use the data analysis over here. See, you have something called as X variable, Y variable. Okay? If they have any relationship, you try to run the relationship. Pearson का regression coefficient होता है. ठीक है, this is going slightly deeper. छोड़ो. X and Y में अगर there is two relationship. Both of them are, I am not saying causal and effect. Both of them might be working together. ठीक है. I have a bigger, powerful engine, and that powerful engine requires more fuel. It might have causal effect, it may not have causal effect. ठीक है. Now, regression is when you identify if your engine is 100 cc, this would be your fuel tank requirement. If your engine is 150 cc, this would be your fuel tank requirement. It may be positive or negative. बड़ा engine है, छोटा tank होगा या छोटा engine है. All those things would come from regression analysis. ठीक है. Simple example would be all of us when we were studying in TISS. If we are studying 24/7, we may get a better grade. But is it 100% translative? No. So studying in TISS grade can have a correlation of, let's say, 0.85. मतलब if you are putting in studies, more studies, 85%. So let's say if you are putting in 100 hours of study, 85 would be going towards your grade side of it. 15% is still dependent on other variable. Is it making sense? Is it not making sense? You can have regression in which the two seemingly different variable which were supposed to have correlation but do not have a causal effect. Somebody pointed out about the ice creams and people drowning. They are two independent parts, though they do not have a causal effect, but they have a strong correlation. Okay? So regression is, in short, regression tells you, it generates a model. Jैसे if I want to make a model about employee attrition, it will tell me what would be the impact, the factor impact of compensation. 30% impact on compensation, 20% impact on the team, 10% impact of the manager style. You are able to identify what is the causal and how much is the causal. That's the correlation, the regression side. Clear so far? समझा नहीं समझा?
Yeah, Vimal, thank you so much. think
थोड़ा और time spend कर लो. You will understand that. What I wanted to show here is I want to see whether my performance rating, this particular part, has anything to do with my tenure. Okay. Just follow along. What I am doing is I'll go to file, go to more options, go to add-ins. नीचे दिख रहा है मैनेज एक्सेल एड-इन्स, इधर पे गो करो. ये करके कुछ ओपन होगा, एनालिसिस टीपीके, एनालिसिस वीबीए. Should I explain it again?
Yes, once please.
You have file, you have more, you have options, you have add-ins. ऑप्शंस तक समझा? फाइल पे जाओ, मोर पे जाओ, अकाउंट दिखा रहा है, ऑप्शंस दिखा रहा है, गो टुवर्ड्स ऑप्शंस, go towards add-ins. There is something called as manage add-ins at the bottom of it. I can change these things, but मैं उसको Excel add-ins में रहने दूंगा. Go. ये दो अगर अनचेक रहेगा तो उसको चेक कर दो, एनालिसिस टीपीके और एनालिसिस वीबीए. किया? Let me know. Have you guys done it or not?
Done.
All right. I'm going to run a regression because if I want to see the causal effect, right? कि tenure बढ़ने से performance rating बढ़ रही है कि नहीं? This could be one of the hypotheses, right, guys? कि बंदा 10 साल से है तो उसको रेटिंग ज्यादा मिल रही है, बंदा नया है उसको रेटिंग कम मिल रही है. Possible, happens in many organizations. Nobody's perfect. It happens. I want to see, is there really a regression? Or is there a causal effect or not? So I'm going to run a regression. Now see it very carefully. I'm going to go to data. Okay. Within that, I am going to go towards data analysis. दिख रहा है आपको पीछे? अगर विंडो पे दिख रहा है तो आप विंडो से अपना वो चैट ऑप्शन हटाओ. एनालिसिस करके दिख रहा है आपको कुछ, गाइस?
Yes, Vimal, it's there.
Okay, you go towards data analysis.
Found
All your ANOVA, two-factor, correlation, covariance, prescriptive, जो बोलो काफी चीजें दी हुई है इसमें. Not bad for Excel tool. ठीक है, T test, Z test, 2 means, 1 mean. All of us have done this. Sampling. I really liked T test and Z test. इससे पता चलता है कि do you have is the two different samples and the two different data sets, are they the same? By same I means, can we apply one learning model to another one? आपने जो चैट जीपीटी को एक्सटर्नली सिखाया है, कैन दैट सेम बी अप्लाइड टू योर ओन टूल, इज समथिंग व्हाट वी कैन इजीली फाइंड आउट थ्रू टू टेस्ट. टी टेस्ट विद टू सैंपल्स, राइट? समझा आपको?
So can the result be hold true for another data set? अगर एक में है तो.
अगर देखो, सी व्हाट यू ट्राई टू आइडेंटिफाई इज कि उसका और इसका जो कोवेरियंस है डेटा का, अगर वो सेम है तो आप एक का जो मॉडल आपने एक से बनाया है आप दूसरे पे डाल सकते हैं,
एक्सटेंड कर सकते
हैं. नॉट टॉकिंग अबाउट मशीन लर्निंग. मशीन लर्निंग में और भी होता है, बट जो आपने अपने ट्रेनिंग डेटा को जो आप यूज कर रहे हो और जो आपका टेस्ट डेटा है, आर दे द सिमिलर इन नेचर और नॉट? सेम.
गॉट इट.
बाय सेम आई डोंट मीन कि उसमें 100 कॉलम है, इधर पे भी 100 रो 100 कॉलम है, नहीं. I mean, can the learnings be applied? And you
The
tested
regressions. Learning out the regressions.
models, yes.
Regression models.
Models होते हैं ना, जो भी रहता है, everything is a model, right?
Right, algorithm. Yeah.
So, start small here. See, AI is an ocean. If you want to master it, it will take a lot of time. So what you do is, one at a time. अगर मशीन लर्निंग सीखनी है किसी को, which I would not advise, you'll have to go and read the probability theorems. Bayes theorem is one of the most important theorem. It is about causal effect between multiple events. Bayes theorem, BAYES, Bayes theorem.
Conditional probabilities.
Conditional probability, exactly. That is a very important backbone of your machine learning. But I was just speaking to the AI leader, which I spoke about. He is saying a couple of things. One, earlier, to talk to your models, the machine learning models, you needed a machine learning expert. Now you can interact with it. कैसे interact कर सकते हो? चैट जीपीटी से. चैट कर रहे हो ना आप? पीछे तो मॉडल ही है ना, आप उसे चैट कर रहे हो ना? You don't require Python to chat with your model nowadays. So what it means is, पढ़ना है तो पढ़ो, नहीं पढ़ना है मत पढ़ो. But guys, if you are from the 2020 onwards batches, free advice, AI थोड़ा देख लो. Don't become master of it, because that is going to have, don't see what is going to happen with the earlier generations, जो हमारी है या हमसे पहले वाले 10 साल 15 साल पहले वाले लोग हैं. Their career may have limited overlap. तुम्हारे करियर पे काफी ओवरलैप रहेगा from AI, intelligent systems. Should have some basic understanding about it. See, guys, एक और चीज बता रहा हूं मैं. Probably this is something what a lot of organizations will experience and about to experience. You just can't be sitting idle and thinking कि चीजें होंगी आजू बाजू, मुझे फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा. That's not the case. And that's the reason I went deeper into it. Everyone was talking about ये मॉडल चल रहा है, ये ऐसे चल रहा है, but चल कैसे रहा है? What exactly is it fueling? And you should have a basic understanding of it. कोड नहीं आए समझ में कोई बात नहीं, कैसे चल रहे हैं वो सब? Because essentially for you, you'll have to live with this model for 20-30 years. People with from 2000 plus, earlier than 2000, they have another 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years. But the challenging part is they would be in a leadership position where they will have to take decisions which will have an impact on AI, on adoption of AI. So they also should know it. But for them, it is not about living with the AI. You guys have no other way but to learn what is happening in the tech. And that's my free advice. Okay? A lot of you see, a lot of people who are skipping the sessions and all. I'm sure 4 months down the line, everyone would be calling me something which I've taught or they could have learned it then and there itself. But a lot of time people are not realizing how fast the things are changing, and it's changing very fast, guys. Very, very fast. Okay? Now with this, I'm going to do a regression analysis. I'm just
Praveen
putting up
wants to say
regression.
something.
This particular one popped up. दिखा आपको? What I'm going to do is पूरा M जितना भी डेटा है मैं उसको कवर कर लूंगा. M is my Y output. Performance rating is my output, right? End of the day, what impacts to your employees? पैसा कितना मिल रहा है, इंक्रीमेंट कैसा मिल रहा है, इंक्रीमेंट किससे मिलता है, परफॉर्मेंस रेटिंग पे मिलता है, राइट? So all the story around it is only about performance ratings. So you will try to understand what is it really your data is showing. So I am taken Y as input. जैसे SPSS में लेते थे ना input. I can take multiple X, but for the time being, I want to make it easier. I want you to observe it. पहले देख लो कैसे होता है, बाद में उसके ऊपर मॉडल्स बिल्ड करना, एक्सेट्रा, एवरीथिंग. I have labels, right, guys? I'm going to take that. मैं आउटपुट किस में डालना चाहता हूं, टेबल 2 एक मेरा टैब है. दिस इज गोइंग टू बी द फाइनल आउटपुट. मैं उसका नाम रख रहा हूं आउटपुट. मेरी मर्जी है, मैं उसका नाम विमल भी रख सकता हूं, मैं विमल डाल देता हूं. आई एम पुटिंग अप रेसिडुअल प्लॉट्स देख लेते हैं, क्योंकि दिस इज एन इंपॉर्टेंट वन. एंड लाइन प्लॉट्स देख लेते हैं. वो भी नहीं देखना तो मत देखो. ये दिखा आपको, समरी दिख रहा है ऐसा? कैन समबडी इंटरप्रेट दिस समरी, व्हाट इट मींस? Can anyone interpret this?
It shows that the output has negative correlation with the tenure, and overall explainability of the model is like 0.0002 divided by 100%, which is quite low.
It's very low.
Yeah, and overall significance is not significant. Sorry, p-value tenure is not significant. Tenure is not significant for output.
Fantastic. What it is showing is your R square. What Praveen pointed out, R square. This particular value is the important one. अगर ये वैल्यू मेरी जो ये दिख रही है उसकी जगह ये वैल्यू होती मेरी 8, 9, that means my model explains 90% of input and output. मतलब मेरा मॉडल काफी अच्छे से काम कर रहा है. यू अंडरस्टैंड? जो मैंने वैल्यू चेंज की, अगर वो 90% होती, दैट मींस फॉर ए गिवन एक्स वो पर्टिकुलर वाई आ रहा है, तो योर बेस्ट फिट जो लाइन जो भी ऐसे एकदम से अलग से दिख रही है, वो एक स्मूथ सा कर्व बनता.
So basically what we have assumed is true.
Is not true, because another thing is your p value should be less than 0.005. SPSS याद है? हमने रखा है कॉन्फिडेंस लेवल 0.005. उससे नीचे रहनी चाहिए थी. ये तो बहुत ज्यादा ऊपर है. 0.005 से बहुत ज्यादा ऊपर है. दिस इज 0.5. दैट मीन्स इवन अगर यहां पे ये 90% होता, तभी भी मैं उस मॉडल को रिजेक्ट कर देता. यहां पे अगर 90% होता, 89 या 90% भी होता, p वैल्यू ज्यादा है, दैट मींस आई वुड रिजेक्ट दैट मॉडल. इज इट क्लियर सो फार?
Yes.
Should I repeat it?
Vimal will also tell about ANOVA. I forgot about.
यार वो टाइम लगेगा यार, एनोवा वो सब ना थोड़ा अच्छा खासा टाइम लग जाएगा.
Okay.
Vimal, the thing you are explaining is just part of our first semester. So in first semester we all
The entire world is running around your first semester, भाई. वही समझा रहा हूँ. Praneeth, it's as dumb as what have been taught us in the first semester. and that is now fueling the entire world. The models, the regression models, which is not using, which is not using 100 lines, 100 records, but they are using 10 billion records to train their model, basis which they are creating models. So how does AI works? AI works when if I am writing a romantic, I think I used the example last time. If I'm writing a romantic letter, if I use the word I, love together, तो मॉडल आइडेंटिफाई कर लेगा कि आई लव के साथ द नेक्स्ट पार्ट वुड बी यू, एंड दैट्स व्हाट इज योर जनरेटिव पार्ट. और कुछ नहीं कर रहा है जनरेटिव, वो प्रोबेबिलिटी कैलकुलेट कर रहा है आई के बाद क्या आएगा, आई लव के बाद क्या आना चाहिए, तो उसने करके दिया. It is not doing something rocket science. It has been trained with the data. I love you is the words which are usually together in a romantic context. So if I and love is being pointed out, the third one is going to be you. Right? Samjha? Entire world is being powered by regression, logistic regression analysis. It's as dumb as that. Okay? Do you guys want to have a hands-on? एक काम कर लो, आप लोग एक फाइनल एक हैंड्स ऑन कर लो, एंड I'll close it over here. परफॉर्मेंस रेटिंग और एज के बीच में कोरिलेशन बता दो. Yeah, Praveen.
No, I was about to make some other insight, but I can do it subsequently.
Okay, no worries. Yeah. So guys, can you run a regression between performance, which is going to be my Y, and between age, which is in my F? करना है, करके बता पाओगे आप मुझे next 2-3 मिनट में? Is it significant? Is it not significant? And then we'll close this. Yeah. So guys, tell me, हुआ? How strong is the model association?
P value is quite high. It's 0.035, so it's insignificant.
And what is R square?
0.00.
मैं भी यहाँ पे कर ही लेता. सही है ना, तुम्हें SPSS की जरूरत नहीं है. I never liked that software. F हो गया. This is F. My Y is going to be same, but nonetheless, let me do it because people might be seeing that in recordings and they'll not be able to make sense out of it. Okay, I'm going to. It has labels because मैंने 1 से लिया हुआ है, तो it has labels. Confidence level मैं change कर सकता हूँ, 95 भी कर सकता हूँ, 98 भी कर सकता हूँ. You remember 95% confidence लेना है, 97.5 लेना है, वो तुम पे डिपेंड करता है. आउटपुट का नाम रहेगा लास्ट. रेसिडुअल प्लॉट्स, लाइन फिट देख रहा हूँ, नहीं भी हटाना है तो हटा सकता हूँ, रन कर दूंगा मैं। लास्ट पे आएगा आर स्क्वायर का वैल्यू, सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट होता है आर स्क्वायर का वैल्यू एंड पी वैल्यू। अगर 1-on-1 रन कर रहे हो, मल्टीपल रिग्रेशन मल्टीपल फैक्टर्स का भी पॉसिबल है, ठीक है। पी वैल्यू कितना दिखा रहा है, एज का 0.35, तो दिस इज नॉट बी यूज्ड एंड इट मींस out of 10,000 times only 4 times the predicted value of y from the value x, जो आपका इनपुट का अगर वैल्यू दिया और उसके हिसाब से उसने 10,000 प्रेडिक्शन किए तो उसमें से 4.2 प्रेडिक्शन होगा। अगर वो इसकी जगह पे एक 0 कम होता तो दैट मींस आपने अगर 1000 बार उसको रन किया तो 4 बार वो दिखाएगा, विच इज रॉन्ग, राइट? Anything which is less than 90-95%, why would you even take that model? जहां पे correlation आपके regression strong नहीं है, association, why would you take that model? ठीक है? So guys, I'm just stop sharing. So any feedbacks, anything which we can do, anything which we should be covering? Amit?
Thanks, Vimal. This has been so insightful. I mean, some of the things which I guess I knew back in college and they were lying dormant, so we were not actively using in our day-to-day work. I think this session has reignited that level of depth and understanding, and definitely in the future how things gonna change and how we need to evolve quickly if we want to stay relevant. So that has been so helpful.
Thanks, Amit. So that's the purpose of it, right? I know I'll not be able to train you in 8 hours, but at least I can tell you what are the things are moving around and what's the way you should, which direction and roadmap you should follow.
Definitely, yeah.
And the ones who would be proactive, see, even after the sessions, I'm not sure till when we'll have the sessions. I'll have a couple of more sessions, but again, देखते हैं उसके हिसाब से, depending upon the enthusiasm. Now, even after the sessions are not there, the ones who are proactive, you can always call me about how do I go about it. And I think I keep pointing out it's about proactiveness. I took you the UPSC example. People will keep calling about limited resources, but जो resources हैं, people don't utilize it. ठीक है? Any other pointers? Panikeshwar.
Nothing from my end.
Sorry, I'm not able to call your name properly.
Yeah, you can call me Panikeshwar.
Okay, Panikeshwar. Any feedbacks?
So
Are you
far,
working? Which batch you are part of?
batch of 2022 to 2024. So it has been
Where
1
are you
year.
working right now?
I'm working with AMNS, ArcelorMittal Nippon Steel India Limited.
Sorry?
ArcelorMittal Nippon Steel India Limited.
Okay, ArcelorMittal. Okay,
Yeah,
fantastic. HRBP?
No, right now this is a management trainee, so we're just having the stints, and I'm working with the digitization project. So HR
For
transformation.
you, it makes more sense to know about it.
Correct.
Okay. Okay. So any feedbacks?
Yeah, it has helped me to change my perspective towards the data, and the new things that you introduced were quite helpful, I would say.
All right. Anything else, guys? Yeah, Praveen, I can see you want to speak something, and then we'll wrap it up.
Yeah, there are 2-3 points. First point is, do not use a segregated data set to identify variable, because regression is applicable only for the available data. If you go beyond that data, the relationship may or may not stand true. So you have to use the data set which is a part of, to create a model, you should use a data set which is a part of metadata you are trying to gain insight about. Second thing is, in my understanding, if you have good theoretical understanding, there are many statistical methods to identify causality. But if you have theoretical understanding, not necessarily you need to show or prove the causality. On the end of the correlation is certain kind of causality itself. And third is,
I would not agree to it, but yes, I take the point. Positivity,
I mean,
I agree, but see, regression. See, lot of these things are happening only about prediction, right?
I mean,
Just to give you an example, Praveen, it makes sense for the banks to understand which kind of customers they can upsell. Okay. Until unless they are able to, with the limited data, they are able to understand and predict. Should I be investing time on Praveen or should I be investing time on Vimal? Who is more likely to buy?
you
And
can do.
that's what you require it. But I hear you what you're pointing out. See, the purpose here is not to teach you these things, but the purpose is to make you understand these kind of things exist. These are the things which are going to be the at the end of it. It's like जैसे आप देख रहे हो ना, end of it, end of this phone is some silicon chip in which you have NPN diodes, triodes, transistors. That is the basics of it. And that exactly is regression.
I agree with you.
Okay, guys, I'll close the session over here.